Good afternoon. We're coming to you this afternoon from Fire Station number 2 on University Ave in Halifax. It's HRM's oldest working fire station. This afternoon I'm talking with firefighter engineer Jeff Brown, who also happens to be the head of the Halifax Fire Historical Society. Afternoon, Jeff.
Hello.
My notes behind us, we have a hose cart there. I wonder if you might be able to tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. This is a piece of equipment used by the Union Protection Company, one of 11 we found so far of firefighting companies that operated in Halifax between 1754 and today. They used this as just a hose cart. It was, you'll see by its light design, light build, it's designed to be pulled by firefighters. This was not a horse-pulled piece of apparatus like many of them were. It would have been laden with a flat hose and taken to the fire scene, where it would be attached to a pumper of some sort, being a hand-pumped or a steam-pumped fire engine.
Jeff, behind it here looks like an older type of steam engine there. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. We were graciously gifted this by the town of New Glasgow a couple of years ago. It's an 1877, a Muskeg steamer. It actually did play a role during the Halifax explosion. After the explosion, New Glasgow obviously was told of the devastation, and they loaded her along with a bunch of hose and firefighters from the area. They jumped on a train and came down this way to make use of it to help fight the fires. It wasn't actually put into service when they got here, as the threads on the hoses on this didn't match up with the threads on the hoses that Halifax used at the time. Okay. But they did bring it down. Right. Make use of it anyway.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit is under repair here. Do you guys do that yourself?
We are. We started some basic renovations. We hope to do a full renovation on it down the road. Currently, one of our members, Christian, has been stripping the wheels, and we were able to uncover the original detail work that he's been able to recreate so far on a couple of the wheels. A couple more, and we'll carry on with some fundraising to hopefully raise enough to restore the rest.
Yeah, Jeff, so now still in the apparatus bay floor here of Station 2, and I've seen this truck here, an older looking pumper in some parades. Can you tell us a little bit about her?
Sure. She's her 1934 Fickle, purchased new by the city of Halifax. She's been in our possession ever since. It was restored back quite a few decades ago into the condition you see now. She does get used for parades and stuff. We've currently got her off the road for a while, as it's getting harder and harder to replace parts that do let go. We can't exactly run to the local automotive store and pick up new parts. So she's a pretty important piece of our history. She's known as the Queen. She got that name from a pretty important fire on Hollis Street back in 1939, the Queen Hotel. A very well-known, internationally known hotel at the time. Burnt down and sadly took the lives of 28 people. She actually fought that fire and pumped straight for 20 hours during that fire. Was hot fueled and continued to pump night and day. So.
Yeah, Jeff, behind us here we have a glass display case here housing some looks like firefighter related artifacts. Could you tell us a little bit about what's inside there on top?
Sure. Just a little display so we can show some of our visitors part of our history, including a lot of the stuff that we've started to amass about the Halifax explosion. We have, during the Halifax explosion, as most of you know, we lost 9 of our firefighters. Greatest line of duty death to date in Halifax, or in Canada, excuse me. A record we hope never to break. That day, actually, one of our firefighters, Billy Wells, was the operator of the Patricia, the very first motorized pumper in Canada. The Patricia was destroyed in the explosion. Billy was actually at the helm when the explosion went off. Wow. As the story goes, when he was found, he was tangled in telegraph wires near the top of the hill in the north end, and he was still holding the missing piece of the steering wheel.
Oh, that's the wheel there. Wow.
That is the original wheel to the Patricia, and when she was sent back after the explosion to be restored, they actually removed what was left of the steering wheel and gave it to the family, who later donated it back to the department for us to keep in our collection.
Yeah, that concludes our tour here this afternoon at Fire Station number 2, and I'd like to express our thanks again to Fire Engineer Jeff Brown for showing us some of the older apparatus as well as the artifacts on display here at station number 2. Jeff, we really appreciate your time.
No worries at all. We're happy to show it off. We love having visitors.
Thank you.